Hello everybody, welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is the match preview, Newcastle United versus West Ham United. Yes, the Premier League is back after the international break. Before we get into that, do remember, if you do like what you see, please do smash that like, follow Sean the Sheep, smash that like button, that would be absolutely fantastic. Helps new viewers find the channel more easily by smashing those likes. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and join this great community we got here on the way to 1200. Free to do so. Also hit that bell notification. That will let you know when I'm live. I have any upcoming shows or pre-records as well. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. You can do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that by clicking the $ as well. So, yes, so like I say, the Premier League is back. But before I go into that, what I do want to say is, we've heard from, we know the Sandro Tonali business is happening. We know what's happening with the FA is looking into it now, and they've charged him. Now they've said he's got till April the 5th to respond. Which is fair enough. But we've heard from Sandro's agent as well, and this has come out from Fabrizio Romano. So Sandro Tonali's representatives have come out with this following statement. It should be noted that in relation to the reports in the English and Italian press that the ongoing investigation is a due act after Newcastle player Sandro Tonali decided in October 2023 to self-report to the FA, as he had previously done with the FIGC, in order to clarify his position regarding the betting he had carried out at a time prior to the start of proceedings in Italy. We are therefore not talking about anything new, but simply about recurring facts before the Italian disqualification, which the player voluntarily wanted to bring to light, even to the English Federation, to put a definitive end to a negative and very painful parenthesis of his life. So Sandro Tonali will continue to fully cooperate with the English FA as he did with the FIGC, and do everything possible to ensure that these proceedings can be resolved as quickly as possible. So basically, what they're saying there is the FA were aware of this back then, as Sandro Tonali had already told them. So look, Newcastle don't expect there to be any extra ban added on top of this. They think he's coming back after this latest ban that he's got with the Italian FA. Let's hope common sense prevails with the FA. Now look, this guy, Sandro Tonali, we know he hasn't been great. He started Newcastle, but obviously he had this hanging over him. And they say in the matches he betted on Newcastle, they were to win, not to lose. Now, if you remember the Ivan Toney situation, he was betting on Brentford to lose, wasn't he? So that's totally different. Even if he's bet on matches for us to win and we haven't won them, he's not gained anything from it. So, look, gambling is an addiction. It's like drinking is an addiction. You can get too hooked on it and then you can end up being an alcoholic. Smoking's an addiction. You can smoke as many as you want, but then you can get addicted to that and hooked to it and stay on it. So, gambling's the same thing. It's an addiction. It's an illness. Now he's getting rehab and he's getting help for this. Surely the FA now need to realise this and say, right, okay, he's had the help, maybe even if they wanted to give him a suspended ban, that's fair enough. Take that all day long, because then he would know if he'd done anything like that again, that ban would come into force as well as any other ban that he'd get. So I'd be happy with that. Maybe he may get an extra fine, but I hope he does not get an extra ban. So let's hope the FA don't give the extra ban out as well. Right, I'm going to get into some comments. Shake a leg, Tony. I did have to go to the toilet, actually, mate. I think Tony's got the lucky disconnect. No, certainly not, mate. Certainly not. Hi all, says Andrew. Good evening to you, Andrew. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, Tony. Good evening, Bia. Hope you're well, mate. Ian says, hi, Tony. Hi, mate. Hope you're well, Ian. Hello, everyone, says Jam Stasher. Hi to you, mate, as well. Hope you're doing well. Now, look, we know the Leicester City thing come out. It's weird. Do we play devil's advocate here? Now, you know how the Premier League have said that because of the PSR, Leicester City are now going to be charged with this. And there could be, what it could be with Leicester City is that if they do come up, they will get a points deduction. Now then, is Leicester going to go on a downward spiral now so that they don't get promoted? Because they know as soon as they hit the Premier League, they're going to be on a minus points. Because it was funny how today they got beat off Bristol City 1-0. And we know Ipswich have won, so Ipswich have gone top. And Leeds are currently drawn 0-0 with Watford at the minute. Now then, do we think, will Leicester City now start playing bad so that they don't go up? Because it wouldn't surprise me if they just said to the Premier League, do you know what? We don't care, we'll stay in the Championship because we're not coming up for the points deduction. And who could blame them? Because I wouldn't blame them. Alessandro says, man of the hour, hope all is well, amigo. Yeah, I'm absolutely great, mate. Thank you very much and hope you're well too. And Leicester were awful today, says Bia. I didn't see the game, Bia, but, by looking at the report and that, it didn't sound like it was a great game. I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester end up in the playoffs because they actually are awful at the moment. But there again, they might not want to go up. And who can blame them if they don't want to go up? Gary says if Tonali played for Liverpool or Man U, he wouldn't get a further ban. Unfortunately, he's with us. He'll get a further ban. That's the thing. They'll check the club badge, Gary. Absolutely. And, I honestly think if he gets an extra ban, I'll just think, why? Because, at the end of the day, if you give Tonali an extra ban, what is that doing for that player's welfare? It's not just the player's welfare, it's his mental health as well. Okay, fair enough, he's training with a team at the minute, which is great, we've got him training. But if he gets a further ban, the FA could implement that he can't train. Now, if the FA hit him with a 6-month ban, and he can't even train with a team for 6 months, that could hit him really hard. So, look, I think the FA have got to just take into consideration, yes, he's admitted it. We know he's done wrong. He knows he's done wrong. And he's asking for help. It's an addiction. I agree with Paul Merson. He says banning players is not the answer. Give them the help they need. And the support is more the answer than banning them. And I agree with Merson to a degree on that. I really do. But I'm hoping they don't ban him. And it makes you more and more think now, AC Milan knew all about this because why the hell did we get him for 55 million? Why are they selling their top player for 55 million? Because it shows you. Leicester was 16 points clear at one time. Yeah, they were, Ian. I mean, they were flying, Ian. They were odds on to be promoted. But now, like I say, Ipswich are top at the moment, and then Leeds are playing at the minute. So if Leeds win, they go back to top. And it's, yeah. Gallant compared himself to Elon Musk, says, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen it, mate. I'll have to check it out. They've just panned the camera there. Sir Elton John's there for Watford anyway today. Ian says the club's lawyers will be watching. Yeah, absolutely. There will be. Daniela. Hi, Daniela. Hope you're well. She says, I hear these new beaten infraction happening after the Italian ban, i.e. October. Apparently it was up in October, but he didn't get his ban until November. But it was in October when he pulled out the Italian team, or when he was sent home from the Italian team, with Fagioli, when these charges when this all came to light. So again, it's one of them. We'll just have to wait and see what happens on that one. And let's hope common sense does prevail. So as we know, the football is back tomorrow, And again, we are looking forward to the game. It's a 12:30 kickoff. TNT Sports. We don't normally do well on 12:30 kickoffs, let's be honest. But we need to win this game tomorrow. We need that win, absolutely tomorrow. Anything less than 3 points will be disappointing. But again, we've got to respect the opposition. We're coming up against a tough West Ham team, let's be honest, who are 4 points ahead of us, by the way. So we need to try and bridge that gap. So we need to bridge that gap. But yeah, it is going to be a tough game tomorrow. I'm not sure if Kudus is fit, because we've heard he's got some sort of injury concern, whether he'd be fit tomorrow for that game for West Ham. If he is, then he's going to be up against if Dan Burns playing. Because I have got a feeling how we're going to line up tomorrow. And I just think that with my lineup, I think that's how Eddie Howe's going to go with his lineup, unfortunately. And, as much as it pains us to say it, but I think that could, my lineup could be the one, as I say, is what Eddie will go with on Saturday. But, it is going to be a tough game, but we need to win that game. If we want to be in European contention, we need to win that game. One player we know who's been definitely promoted to the senior squad at the moment, and that's this man here, Alfie Harrison. It's not to say that he's going to play. He could be on the bench, who knows? Maybe something we bring him off the bench and say, look, go on, get yourself on, see what you can do. But again, it'll be interesting to see if he is on the bench tomorrow. But, as I say, it's a game we need to win. As I say, West Ham will be tough. They've got some good players. Yes, Edson Alvarez is out. Probably Calvin Phillips takes his place, although he hasn't been the greatest of signings, has he, for West Ham? Let's be honest. We dodged that one there well and truly. I can imagine West Ham, they've got Jared Bowen, who's on fire at the minute. He's going to be a danger. Even if Kudus isn't playing, you've still got to watch him. You've got to watch Mikel Antonio, because we know he's a good goal scorer in some ways. He can, he's dangerous. Yes, he might be 34, but he's good at holding the ball up, and he's good at getting into play in areas. So, we got to be careful. There's quite a few players there to be careful of. Thomas Souček, we know he's good from corners, with his headers. He scores vital goals. We know Paquetá is going to be a totally different player as well. So we've got to watch him as well. Him and Bruno, the battle of them two tomorrow is going to be on again, So we just have to, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm just going to nip into some comments as well. Daniela said, I'd like a win, but I take a draw. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that one, Daniela. Gary says, Tony, do you realise you just asked the FA to show common sense, Tony? Well, I know I said that. I know, Gary. But the thing is, though, look, we know they haven't got common sense. We know that. We know what the FA have and haven't got. And they certainly have not got common sense. But all I'm saying is they need to start showing a bit of... they need to start showing a bit of common sense, really, because... to be honest with you, that it's just not right the way they're going on at the moment, is it really? So we'll wait and see anyway what happens with that, but we'll just have to wait till that one plays out. Jimmy Melly's training with the first team. Nice one there, Beer. And there's a defender as well. I can't remember his name is now. The defender, his name's just gone a blank now, but there's another young lad that's been called up. I think Murphs doesn't start at West Ham will win. Yeah, do you know what? I agree with that, Gary. I agree with that one. Can't call this one. Both teams have no real consistency. Yeah, that's it. It depends, Will Ward-Prowse play tomorrow? I think Ward-Prowse has played well for West Ham this season. It's looked a decent signing, so yeah, we'll see. I reckon we win 3-0, says Buzz Cox. Welcome to the show, mate. Yeah, do you know what? I'll take that all day, mate. I'll take even 1-0. 7-0, says Andrew. Stop being conservative. Exactly. Trippier starts, we win. Yeah, look, Trippier's supposed to be back, isn't he, as well? As I say, I'm going to come out with my lineup a little bit later on in the show. Seems about right, says Andrew. I mean, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Andrew. It's, the end of the day. It's not a bad shout what you're putting out there, but I can't see we're winning 7-0, Andrew. I think that's a bit it's a bit hopeful, isn't it, Andrew? But hey, you never know. You never know. Football's a funny old game, as Greavesy once said. So again, yeah, you just never know, do you? But we'll just have to wait and see on that one, of who plays and who starts tomorrow. It's certainly going to be interesting. That is for sure. But yeah, I would like to see Jacob Murphy start. I really would. It all depends. Who's picked tomorrow by Eddie Howe. And I mean, like I say, I've got my idea of what the lineup's going to be tomorrow, or what I think the lineup will be tomorrow. Whether that lineup's right or not, I don't know. I might be totally wrong. But it's just what my gut feeling would be. But what I'll do is I will give two alternative lineups. So I'll give you the lineup I think it'll be, and then I'll give you the other alternative lineup as well of what it could be as well. So we'll wait and see. Trevor says, do you think the FA are effing around with City and Chelsea? And did you see Gordon have a good game for England? Hi, Trevor. Yeah, mate. I mean, look, Gordon did well for England, really played well. Played well against Brazil on Saturday, and then had a little cameo when he come on against Belgium. Yeah, I think he played well. The FA, I mean, look, the City and Chelsea thing, it's horrendous. But apparently there's rumours going around that Chelsea could be hit with a deduction of more than 10 points. So watch the space on that one. Burn starts tomorrow. Watch it, I bet. What do you think the New England top? One, I wouldn't pay the money for it. I think it's absolutely disgusting how much they're asking for it, and there's a cost of living going on, and they're asking that much for an England top. But the thing is, you'll have the kiddies who are shouting at them, saying, "Oh well, I need the New England top to look like to be like up with my mates," and I don't agree with the price. And I certainly don't agree with the cross on the back, because that is not the St. George's cross. And I think the amount of pressure there's been, I think what they need to do is, I think they need to back down and just put it back to the red cross on the white background, and put the St. George's cross back as it was. You do not mess around with anybody's flag. How would Brazil take it if we started messing on with their flag? Or how would Argentina take it if they messed on with their flag, the blue and white stripes, and says, "Oh, do you know what? Instead of having blue stripes, it can have pink stripes"? Do you think Argentina would accept that? Absolutely not. Nobody would. So look, you can't mess around with the country's flag. As far as I'm concerned, they need to put it back the way it was. Gary says a waste of money. Absolutely. I reckon we should start with Mickey. Maybe Gordon right, Mickey on the left. That would work. Pace down the right against Emerson. Yeah, absolutely. Gary says Tino and Trips carrying injuries, so they'll be definite starters. I don't get the deal about the cross. Well, I don't know why they've done it like that. I mean, yeah, it's okay. It's down to is Buzzcock says it's down to the LGBTQ community. Yeah, I get that, but you could have done it in different ways. Why the England flag? But there is a shop somewhere, and apparently he's putting the St George's flag over the top. And Harvey Elliott the other day, when he was playing for England under 21s, he had the collar up, so you couldn't see the flag. Buzzcock says tiny cross on the back of the shirt. Who gives an F? The thing is, though, I think the fans and everybody else, like politicians, have come out and said it's not right, and it's not right. As I've just said before, if it was, you know, if it was another country's flag you were messing about with, do you think they would be taking this line down? Absolutely not. Like the German flag, you know, if they made that into different colours, do you think they would be happy with that? Absolutely not. So, you know, we can't accept it. Three Lions and the England club and players. Bia says you don't have to desecrate a flag to show support. There should be no politics in sport. Well said, Bia. Well said, mate. Absolutely, I agree. It's different for teams like Brazil. Their flags on the front. Doesn't matter what shirt they wear, they still won't win anything, says Gary. The three lines on the front, so they left it as Southgate has said. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's our England flag. And look, it's just not right at all, is it? You know, you do, as I say, you don't mess around. You don't mess around with flags. At the end of the day, you know, flags there for a reason, and the reason we've got that flag is because we know that's the England flag. Watford have just took the lead, by the way, over Leeds United. But yeah, that's why we've got the England flag is the way it is, and you do not mess around with the flag. Doesn't matter what flag it is, you know. You just do not mess around with it. So I think Nike have scored a massive own goal here. I really do. I think they've scored a massive own goal. And I think the FA should have intervened instead of saying, oh, it's fine, it's fine. Well, no, it's not fine because people are not happy with it. And why should they be happy with it? You know? The end of the day, leave the flag as it was. You know, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know? Don't fix something that's not broken. And it doesn't need to be changed. You know? And Tanji says, I love my England flag, that's why. Absolutely, Tanji. We should be proud of our flag, you know. Scotland wouldn't like it if their flag was changed. They'd go absolutely nuts, wouldn't they? So would Wales. Can you imagine if they changed the dragon, you know, colour? They put a pink dragon instead of a red dragon. Do you think the Welsh would take it lying down? No chance. I mean, look, there's the England one. I mean, that isn't an England flag to me. That is just a cross on the back of a shirt. That is not the England flag. That is disgusting. And, you know, you can see why Rishi Sunak's not happy. Keir Starmer's not happy. Because that is not our flag. That is our flag right there. That is the flag of St. George, the flag of England. And look, at the end of the day, that's what should have been on the back. But at the end of the day, if they're not going to change it, there's nothing anybody's going to be able to do about it, unfortunately. and we know it's been the main talking point. As I've said, there's other ways they could do this sort of thing. I mean, look, I don't have any problems with LGBTQ plus whatever. I don't have any problems with that at all. I like when the Premier League do the rainbow laces thing and the rainbow bat. I think it's great because look, it needs to have exposure. Because at the end of the day, there should be no hatred towards anybody. But the thing is, though, it's just been a main talking point, hasn't it? If they had the St George's on the back, say on the front, like the women have got on theirs, like if it was like a rainbowy colour on the badge on the front, maybe people might not be too bothered about that. But I think it's because the St George's Cross isn't really there, is it? It's not really the St George's Cross. But, everybody's going to have split opinions over it, and it's going to split a lot of people's opinions. Some people say it's great, some will say it's not great. But that's the way it is. But that's why we love football, because we all have different opinions. If we all had the same opinions, it wouldn't be, the world would be too perfect, and not everybody's perfect. So, Daniela says, put England fans right on the flag. It's a lot of fuss over nothing. Yeah, they do. They're right on there, don't they? Like the teams and things like that. Yeah. Jam Stasher says, you'll always be politics and sport going back to World War II and before that. Yeah, absolutely. What about Abramovich being forced to sell Chelsea due to Russia? That was a totally different thing. Because the government stopped all these oligarchs and everything. We're not going to get too much into politics, but they froze all our assets at Russia. So he had no choice but to sell, did he? Or else he wouldn't be able to put money in the club. They would probably even bust. People are giving their lives for that flag. Jam Stasher says Hitler used the Olympics as a propaganda event. Yeah. What about nobody cares about Chelsea? They deserve everything that's coming to them. Daniel says, I've got no problem with it, Daniela. Gary says, what I like about it, it shows this chat is interactive. The other shows just talk amongst themselves and ignore the input from the chat. Not good. That's one thing I never do. I always like the chat to get involved, and I always try and get involved with the chat as well, because when you put stuff in there, I like to get involved because we can have some good debates, and it's great to have these debates, absolutely. Bias is my best mate's gay, he hates it. There we go. Yeah. Buzzcock says, so we leave politics out of sport, but when it's not the kits, it's okay to show support. Again, you shouldn't mix politics and sport together. Absolutely not. He says, I reckon it's shown on the kits as it's a good way to support as people look at the kits more. Be talking to Buzzcocks. Gary says, football creates racism, so it's all nonsense anyway. Absolutely, Leeds have just equalised now through Somerville. Tanji says, how does wear anything with the political messages support? The only people who get support are the rich owners and companies that push this brainwashing crap on people. Yeah, I agree to a part there with you, Tanji. Sport is meant to bring people together. Politics is divisive. Absolutely, yeah. Daniela says there's bigger issues in the game, like the Big Six making the league a closed shop, which does not help our clubs. Do you know what, Daniela? I'm glad you've brought that up. Absolutely spot on. It's about time the 14 clubs got together and challenged the Premier League, because they don't want that cartel being disturbed. And that is the problem, They don't want the cartel disturbed. They're frightened. Because I tell you now, and I don't mean this any disrespect, Daniela, to like West Ham or anybody, if there was no FFP, us and City would be streets ahead of everybody else in the Premier League, because the amount of money we would be going out spending. But the thing is, the way I look at it with this PSR is, if clubs have got owners who are mega rich and not like just ourselves, but other owners of other clubs. See, if West Ham's got a rich owner, I mean, I know you got Sullivan, but I don't know if you've got anybody else. I think, did you not get an American who came in, Daniela, and has got lots of money behind him? But if you've got multi-millionaires or multi-billionaires coming in who own clubs, then there should be no reason why they can't spend more money, because if they did, I mean, the thing is, it doesn't matter if our owners went out there and spent, say, £1 billion on players and wages, our club's not going to go bust, because at the end of the day, they've got tons of money. PIF are worth over 500 billion, if not more. The Reuben brothers are worth a few billion as well. So, they're not short of a few pence. So I don't get why, but I can see why they don't want more overspending in case we do get into trouble. Ian says, good job you don't support Celtic or Rangers, Tony. It's all political. What I hate about them, even though I'm a Celtic fan. Yeah, Ian, absolutely, mate. It's Catholics and Protestants, I think, isn't it, between them two? And yeah, I get where you mean. Ramco is the third biggest company in the world, valued at 2.1 trillion. There you go. Absolutely, mate. Well said. But yeah, as I say, that's a good thing about this chat. We do have some, I do get interactive with as much as I can the chat. Sometimes when I've got other guests on, and if it's a busy show, sometimes we can't get through everybody's chat. I try and get through everybody's comments if I can. It's not that I'm ignoring people. It's just like we look at the time that the show's on for. But look, it's great to have this chat, and, I'll always be as interactive as I possibly can with everybody. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people like coming on here, because, where you see some shows on some channels, and I mean, Toon Review are quite interactive with theirs, but there's other shows which aren't, other channels, I mean. So yeah, it's good to have that balance. Daniela says we seem to be at offloading some years to raise money. Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to do something, Daniela, because our top six needs to be bloody toppled. The way the league is set up for the big six, you see it everyone else. You do all the recruiting, and we, the big six, will do all the buying. Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, Tanji, we could have been ahead of the game, but there again, it was Leicester City who kicked off as soon as Amanda started getting those Sports Direct signs taken down. Soon, the minute they started coming down, Leicester City were the first club. Oh, hang on a minute, we need a vote. We've got to stop these. We've got to stop Newcastle getting all these sponsors in, because if they hadn't had that vote, we could have had sponsors in for 60, 70 million quid. And nothing could have been done about it because there was no cap on it. But Leicester made sure there was a vote there to have a cap on it. BS says, I know what you mean, Tony. People are like, oh, censors me. I'm not reading that, BR. Well, yeah, there's some that I won't read, BR, if they're a bit over the top. But yeah, you know what I mean. Absolutely. Right, so getting back to tomorrow's game anyway. So we were talking about the England thing and shirts and things like that. Yeah, it's going to be a strange. The game tomorrow. We normally do well after an international break. So look, the way I look at it, I'm hoping we go for the win tomorrow. But again, you just never know what could happen. West Ham could come and upset the party, and and beat us. Who knows? Last season we had a 1-1 draw. Paquetá scored, didn't he? We know Gordon's on fire for us. Isak's scoring okay for us at the moment. I'm glad to see that him and Kraft come through Sweden games unscathed, which is absolutely fantastic. One other thing as well, obviously, is what the lineup's going to be tomorrow. But I'm going to come to that in a minute. But what we are going to look at, we're just going to have a look back on it. And Eddie Howe had his press conference today ahead of the game tomorrow, which is we had to have 12:30 kickoff. I don't like these early kickoffs, but that's nothing we can do about that. It's up to the TV companies. So Eddie Howe was asked ahead of the game tomorrow on Sven Botman, who has undergone surgery after sustaining his knee injury in the Magpies FA Cup defeat. Eddie says it's a big blow. It's a complex story around Sven this season. Since he got his knee injury, initially he had a partial tear of his ACL. We saw specialist opinion on that injury and they were conflicting reports on what he should do next. Ultimately, our medical team advised him to get surgery, but he wanted to carry on playing. And we'll always try to guide and help the players, but it's their bodies and they have to make the final decision. I've seen several players from that injury come back, carry on playing and stay fit. So it's a delicate issue for him. He now has a long period of rehab ahead of him. We wish him well and hope he comes back in a really good place. Right. Yes, Watford have just took the lead, sorry. Yes, I can see why. Look, at the end of the day, yes, you can't force a player to have an operation. You can advise a player to have an operation. And as Eddie quite rightly says, it's his body at the end of the day. So if he doesn't want to have an operation, then he doesn't have to have an operation. Maybe looking back, Sven Botman may think, do you know what? Maybe I should have had it. Because maybe it might have only kept him out for a few months. Where this is now keeping him out for 6 to 9 months up until December. But then even if he's recovered in December, he's then going to get training again. So we're not going to see him till at least January next year. So you're talking 2025 before Sven Botman's back, if he's out for the full 9 months. Bourne will be a danger. He's on fire. Absolutely, Gary. Danielle says, game on TV and West Ham don't do well after a bit yet on TNT Sports, 12:30 kickoff. I was disappointed with the game at the London Stadium. I think Tonali had a tenner on a draw. God. 8:30 AM start for me as on a holiday weekend. Oh, yeah, because Easter weekend now, but I'll be watching Hangover or not. Does Botman return the same player? Could be finished as Macca. We never know. You never know with this. You don't know how they're going to come back. So again, we'll have to wait and see. Newcastle should have been down to 10 at this London Stadium. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So obviously he was asked that on Botman. Then he was asked on Lewis Miley's, who's he was involved with the England Elite League squad last week. He says Lewis come back with a back problem. We are seeking specialist opinion on that. It's slightly unclear on what the injury is, so we don't know yet. So as I've said previously, if it's a back injury, he's out for 6 weeks. I would just say, do you know what? Don't bother with the rest of the season. Write it off. Come back next season, fitter and stronger. That's what I would say on that. I wouldn't even risk him. So even if it's 6 weeks, he still needs to have training time. So you could be talking 8 weeks. Then you've only got 2 games left. What's the point? On the season running, the Magpies situated 10th on 40 points. Eddie then said, with the 10 games we have, it's really good opportunity for us to finish strongly. We are looking for consistency in our performance of results. It's a good chance for us to build for next year and to find our best rhythm back. Hopefully, welcome some key players back from injury, and we can feel that strength towards the end of the season. It's important for us. I think there's been a few quotes that our season is over. Internally, we are certainly not looking at it like that at all. We are focused on building and finding some positive momentum. So basically he's saying there, we've got to go out and try and finish strongly and see where we finish in the next 10 games. And yes, that's easier said than done. And we have to get off to a flying start tomorrow. Matt says West Ham will score 2 against us. Buzzcock says Miley will start tomorrow. No, I don't think he will be because he's injured. Our next 10 games are all pretty winnable, other than Spurs. Well, again, you never know. You just never know, do you? So that was what Eddie said on that one. So yeah, he's right. We have to get, if we don't get any consistency in those 10 games, we won't be in a European place. On Anthony Gordon's senior debut for England, he says, look, it's really satisfying feeling for me to look at Anthony and all the players that are travelling all over the world representing their countries. It's a huge feeling of pride. I've seen how hard Anthony Gordon has worked for that moment and what he's given to the process to achieve that. It hasn't been easy for him. He's really had to work at every aspect of his game. He's been committed. He's had some difficult moments, but then this season he's flourished and produced some really consistent performances. To see him get that moment, I know how much it would mean to him. And it was also great to see him and Bruno going against each other on opposition teams. So yeah, again, absolutely, he absolutely deserved that place in the England team. He's been absolutely brilliant for us this season. Deserves to go to Germany in the summer, and he should be on that plane as well. So let's hope he is. And yes, it was a good battle to see him and Bruno up against each other. It must have been weird for them, and I bet they've had a good chat since they've come back to Newcastle as well. So yeah, absolutely. They're winnable, but we haven't won more than 2 games in a row this season. No, we haven't, Tanji. That's the thing. We haven't. What's the weather like there? It's been crap in London. Well, I'm not far away. I'm in Suffolk at the minute. So, but here it's been sunny all day. It's been lovely. Miley went to Botman's doctor, so he'll start, says Jamstasher. Sunny today, says Gary as well. So yeah. Fate. So he was then asked on the challenge of West Ham United, who won the Europa Conference League last season. He says, we want to be closing that gap. They are a very difficult team to play against, a dangerous team. They've done well in the European competition, found some good Premier League form during the season, but we are back at home. It feels like a long time since we've played at St James's Park. We left on a good note in our last game there and are desperate to pick up that again. So Eddie's recognising how difficult it will be tomorrow, but he's hoping home advantage sees us through and sees us through with the 3 points tomorrow. So let's hope. Finally, he was asked about Elliot Anderson's progress. He says, look, he's getting there. He's had a really positive 2 weeks. He looks stronger and more robust, and that comes from training time. He's a really talented player, someone I really want to see stay fit and do well for the remainder of the season. Yeah, absolutely. I think he should start me. I heard the medical staff of G7 and Botman to start tomorrow. Hey, I like your optimism. I liked your optimism, but I can't see it. Right, I'm going to tell you who I think is going to start tomorrow, and this is, I'll put out this team and then I'll put out the alternative. So definitely Martin Dubravka will start in goal tomorrow. If fit, Trippier will start at right back. And then you're going to have Lascelles at centre back, along with Fabian Schär. And Byrne will start at left back. Can see that happening. The midfield 3 would then be Sean Longstaff, Bruno, because I could see that happening as well. Because Bruno will definitely be back. That's for sure. And he has to be back because, you know, Bruno's been playing well. Although Bruno did get criticised by the media in Brazil, apparently about his performance the other day. So don't know why. And then obviously completing that would be Joe Willock as well. So Joe Willock will complete that midfield three. Now the front three for me, that I'm just thinking how Eddie Howe's going to do this. This is how I think Eddie Howe's going to line up tomorrow. So I think he's going to start with Almiron on the right wing. I can see that happening. Isak in the middle. That is definitely going to happen. And I know I've got his England top one, yeah, but there he is. Anthony Gordon will start on the left for us tomorrow. Absolutely. Now then, what would be my alternative to that? Well, there's a couple of things I would change in that team tomorrow as well. And we think Harvey Barnes is going to be back as well, by the way. So again, it's one of them. We'll have to wait and see. Now then, what I would do instead of starting Seawell Lascelles at right centre back, I would put Cher there, and I would put Burn as left centre back. Put Burn in his natural position, and then you've got the options. Either start Lewis Hall at left back, so you could either have Lewis Hall there, or play Livramento there. Take your pick from that. Will that happen? I'm really not sure. Really not sure. So my next option is this lad needs to be taken out of the team, in my opinion. And I would rather put him there, Elliot Anderson. Put Elliot Anderson at midfield three. Start him. I said start him against Man City and rest Longstaff, and then bring maybe Maley on for half an hour. That was against Man City in the FA Cup. And somebody said to me, you can't play Elliot Anderson. He's only just come back. It's like, well, hang on a minute. He's got to get fitness in minutes, so you may as well play him. So I would put him there. Now, if Eddie's picking Almiron there, I would say no. I would rather have Jacob Murphy there, because that would be a better fit for me to see Murphy in that on that right wing tomorrow. So that would be my other options. What do you think in the chat? But I'm going to go in the chat now and see what people are saying about that as well. See if anybody else is Gary says Murphs has to start. He's a much better attacking force when he's in the team. Absolutely, because his crossing ability is better than Almiron because he crosses with a proper foot. Chelsea link with more Brazilians. How are they allowed to buy anymore? I don't know, Maka. I really don't get it, mate. I don't. Chelsea have to sell and make 200 million before June the 30th. Well, they're stuffed. Tino's injured. No, apparently he was going to be fit for after the international break. That's what Eddie was saying, wasn't it? Anderson's more of a winger, if you ask me. Yeah, he's a good winger, but yeah. And that's even a good show. Joe White there as well. Yeah, absolutely. Been some more devastating news for Chelsea regarding the time with Abramovich as owner, regarding payments to some Russian woman at the club who bought property in Fulham for $7.5 million. Yeah, it's a bit dodgy, isn't it? He looked good against Chelsea, like him and Maley looked up like a real duo. Yeah. Yeah, Joe White did play all right when he came on against Chelsea. I mean, look, that's the other option we've got. Joe White as well. So, you know, there's options there. And it's just seeing, as I say, it's just seeing who Eddie picks. But if you look at it, But if you look at the way Eddie picks these teams, you can guarantee who's going to be in there. You can guarantee that he's going to have, Byrne playing at left back, and he's going to have. So you're going to have Byrne at left back, and he's going to have probably Almer on right wing. He's going to have Longstaff in there. You can see it's going to happen. So. But like you say, Joe White wouldn't be a bad shout at all. Natural position for him. Yeah, there he is. Give him a go. Why not? See how he does. Daniela says, when does the summer window open? I think it's June, I think. No, is it June? I think it's towards the end of June, Daniela, I think. But I will double check it for you. Um, 14th of June. That's when the summer window opens, 14th of June, and closes the 1st of September. EFL, they start on the 10th of June, 4 days before us, they open. The Liga don't open until July the 1st, and the same with Serie A as well. They're the same. So, yeah, absolutely. So that's when the window opens. Yeah, well, according to this, as I say, 14th of June is when the Premier League summer transfer window opens. So, right, let's get into some comments. July the 1st, no, not July the 1st, mate. Joe White is Bruno. Elliot Anderson is my midfield 3. I think Willock will start, to be honest with you, Buzzcocks. 14th of June, wow, yeah, absolutely. Alan says, evening, Tony, did you see that kid we got from Man City scored 9 starts for the youngsters, maybe earned a place on the bench? You on about this guy, Alan? Alfie Harrison, is that the one you're on about? If that's the kid you're on about, yeah. I just wonder if he will be on the bench tomorrow. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, if he is, let's see what he can do. I'm sure if we're winning the game and we're not going to get beat or whatever, he may come on and have a cameo. Who knows? That's if he's on the bench, but we'll find out tomorrow. Cracking prospect, absolutely. Alfie Harrison's been called up for the first team this week, yeah. Yeah, and Alan says, yep, that's him, yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Look, in terms of predictions tomorrow, I said this last night on John Sinclair's channel. I think we can win this 2-1. I think we can win 2-1. I think the goals will come from Alexander Isak and Anthony Gordon. I think Jared Bourne will score for West Ham tomorrow. I think we'll come from behind. I think we'll be 1-0 down and we come back and win it. Daniela says, it seems Abramovich is getting his revenge on the new Chelsea owners by leaking all this stuff about Dodge dealings. Could well be, Daniela. Could well be, absolutely. Wouldn't trust that man as far as I could throw him. So I'm going for a 2-1 win tomorrow. I'm saying it's a take. I'm going to say it's going to be a take game. Hopefully, we don't lose it. If we can't win it, don't lose it. Simple as. Take the draw all day. But we need the win more than anything. The win is more important than a draw. Really, a draw isn't a bad result because it's still a positive of getting the point. But if we can win it, even better. Because then we close the gap. If, and I say this as an if, if we don't win and we lose tomorrow, we could be 12th place because Chelsea have got Burnley and Fulham have Sheffield United. Can't see them not beating any of those teams. So we could end up being 12th place. And then if Bournemouth win, of course, they will then be 2 points behind us in 13th. So we really need to win tomorrow because the pressure is going to be really on. Tanji talking to Daniela saying Chelsea's going to be in big trouble. Yeah. Summer window is the 14th of June. Yeah, absolutely in. 2-1 Toon says Ian. He's going the same as me. It's time to have Miggy, Byrne and Longstaff on the bench. I agree, Gary. I agree, mate. But there again, would you not play Byrne at his natural place in centre half? Because he could fit in. He's a natural left-footed centre half, where Fabian Schär's not. So you're going to play Schär at left centre half when he's better at right centre half. So would you not rather play Byrne there? But the one thing we have got to make sure we do tomorrow is that gap we have between the defence and the midfield three. That has to be tightened up, because if we leave that wide open, West Ham will exploit us. Let's be honest, they will. Daniela says, I'm going out on a limb, a shock West Ham win. I'm not surprised, Daniela. I mean, you're going to back your team, and that's absolutely fine, Daniela, at the end of the day. Your team's been playing well. I mean, look, when you were lost 1-0 in Germany to Freiburg, I didn't expect that result at the London Stadium when you beat them 5-0. I mean, look, nobody expected that, did they? Tanji says, I'm not confident tomorrow, Tony. I think West Ham will win 4-0. Wow. I'll be on the moon if we win. I hope I'm wrong, but we can't defend our midfield this week. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that one, Tanji. I really do. Hope we don't get hammered 4-0 though, Tanji. You know what the thing is, though? If we get beat tomorrow, will the crowd turn? That's the thing. Will the crowd turn? We don't know. How are they going to react? Especially if, like you say, if we lose 4-0. Oh, wow. Wouldn't trust Byrne centre back. He's done all right before there. I'd rather him be there than left back. We saw him at left centre back against Brighton. He was shite. Yeah, true. Yes, he was. Yes, yeah. Hoping for a 3-1 win. Tanji says, I'm usually so positive, but now I don't. I just want the season to end. I think a lot of us just wanted to finish now, don't we? We've had enough now. Not even us. Gary says, Schär at left centre back, pings balls over for Murph, so it's a good combo. Yeah, that's another good shout, Gary. Absolutely, yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I think he'll play Lascelles. He'll play Lascelles and Schär as the two centre backs. And I still think he's going to play Byrne at left back. I've just got that feeling tomorrow. I've just got that feeling that Byrne's going to start tomorrow. I really have. If Byrne and Longstaff start tomorrow, then it's proven that he's just playing his favourites again, you know. But I want Longstaff rested because, like I've said before, you can't keep giving somebody injections every time to try and help their foot, because eventually these injections are going to get immune to them, and then you could cause them more serious damage. And if you cause more serious damage, Longstaff could be out for a long time. So you should be managing them better. If we win, we're going to win by 1 goal. I think it's going to be that tough tomorrow. Burn pockets bone, just watch, says Buzzcocks. Do you know what it is? It's funny because when we all say, we don't want Burn starting and things like that, you'll go out and you'll have a cracking game and you'll be like, wow, actually, hang on a minute. But in the summer, we have to upgrade on Stan Burn in the summer. We have to. These players are aging now, so we have to upgrade on these players. But honestly, I just hope Tanji's result doesn't come off though, because I would hate that if that happened. If we lost 4-0, Jesus. That would be absolutely awful. Um, but I just can't. I just like I say, I just can't see it happening. Um, I've just gifted 5 black and white TV memberships. So people who have got memberships is Barbara Fay, Philip Shuttleworth, Trevor Turner, Mr. James, and Magpie Stew. So they've all benefited from memberships I've just put in there, gifted. Yeah, he hasn't been too bad. Ian says, I'm with you. Tony Byrne and Longstaff will play. You can see it, can't you? I think Bruno may pick up his yellow card tomorrow on the Bruno Piquet. Do you know what? I got a feeling that could happen. Because I think, isn't it 32 games where the cut-off is for that? I think it's 32 games where the 10 yellow cards cut off. I think it is anyway. Yes, 32 games. So once you've hit 32 games, after that, you're fine. If I'm honest, this game's got a 0-0 draw written all over it, says Daniela. I think there'll be goals, Daniela. I think both teams will score. If we get hammered by the Hammers tomorrow, I reckon Eddie Howe will resign. Oh, do you reckon? Wow. Bruno's 3 games left, Hells. Hi, mate. Hope you're well. Yeah, absolutely, mate. He is another 4 games, says Gary. Ian, sorry. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting, though, isn't it? I really do hope we get something out of this game. I really do. We need to win this game. Realistically, we need the 3 points. It's a 6-pointer tomorrow. We need the 3 points out of this game. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So we shall see tomorrow. And you know, not if we lose though. Like we only get absolutely demolished, like 4 or 5. Let's hope not Buzzcocks. Let's hope not. Tangi's already said that he thinks we could lose 4-0. I hope so. I hope you're wrong. I hope we do turn this around and win. Tangi says, see, Piquet has more license to tackle to compete than Bruno, who will be worried about that yellow. Don't expect Longstaff to help them. No, exactly. That's probably why Willick's struggling, because he keeps carrying Longstaff on his back, doesn't he? But yeah, it is. It's going to be interesting. But as I say, I'm going for a 2-1 win. Let's hope anyway. As I always say, I'll take a 1-0 win. I don't care if it comes off the keeper's backside in the 95th minute. As long as we get the 3 points, that's all I'm worried about. Just want the 3 points. But if we don't get the 3 points, let's not lose it and let's get the point. It's still a positive at the end of the day. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway. But anyway, guys and girls, we are coming to the end of this show, but it has been a cracking show. And if you have liked what you see, please don't forget to smash that like. If you haven't done so yet, it takes 2 seconds. Just click that thumbs up. That'd be fantastic. If you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of this great community. Also hit that bell notification to keep you updated with future shows, pre-records or live shows. You can always join as a member. It is 99p. Just click the join button. And if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking the $sign, all money reinvested in the channel. Tomorrow at 11 a.m, the pre-match show will be back. So we'll be back with a pre-match tomorrow. I'll bring you the 2 lineups as they are announced at 11:30. And then we should be good to go after that. And hopefully the team sheet is a team sheet that we can say, wow, that's a strong team sheet. We should go and win that game. Daniela says, I'm off soon. Happy Easter to the Toon family. You too, Daniela. Have a great Easter. Happy Easter. Don't eat too many chocolate eggs. But do you know what? I'm not going to say I'm wishing you luck tomorrow, because I want us to win tomorrow. But you know what? Yeah, have a great Easter. And and try and enjoy the game somehow. But I'm hoping we get the 3 points though. Mac, I think we lose 6-2 or 5-1. Oh Jesus! No, thank you. Don't say things like that. I hope we win too. Just got a bad feeling. Yeah, I know, Tangi. I know what you're saying, mate. Yeah. Don't forget to put your nappies on before the game, people. You know what normally is if I'm watching the game on the TV and I go, oh, I need to go to the toilet. I'll go to the toilet and I'll hear the cheer and I think, oh Christ, I've just missed it. They've scored, and that always happens. So I try and hold on. And I think, oh, I can't. I've got to go to the toilet. So it's one of those. It's a catch-22. And will there be a watch along? Not on this channel, but Toon Review will be doing a watch along as usual. So join Paul and Billy. I would imagine it'll be them too anyway. They'll be doing the watch along tomorrow on the Toon Review. They do a great job. There's so many different channels do it, but yeah, they'll definitely be doing it tomorrow. So join the Toon Review tomorrow. But come here for the pre-match show, and then go off to Paul and Billy on Toon Review, and they'll be doing the watch along because they do a very good time. Good night, mate. See you on the other channel later. Haha. Cheers, hells. Cheers, mate. I'm not on the American Magpie now, mate. I was on there for a while, but obviously I've got to concentrate on my channel, hells. But yeah, but you'll probably see me in the chat over there. So yeah, cheers, mate. Thank you very much as well. But as I always say, remember the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you're doing. And until then, stay safe. See you tomorrow. And it's how are the lads.